Hey, I'm ChristopherJMUA and welcome back to my channel. Unless you've never been here, of course, then welcome. I'm so glad you've stopped by. Today, we are reviewing the Morphe X Maddie Ziegler collection. We have an eyeshadow palette, a lip and cheek duo, and a face gloss stick. Never used one of those before, unless it's just like a stick highlighter. I don't know. But I would like to know, and if you would also like to know, and you would like to know about how this palette performs, what it swatches like, what it looks like on the eyes, and would like to know my initial impressions on this collection, then stay exactly where you are, keep doing exactly what you're doing, and keep on watching. Actually, before I do show you the swatches, I wanted to show you just these press molds. They are so cute. There's a little butterfly, some little sparkles, a heart, lips, an eye, and that's all of them. I just wanted to show that to you guys before I destroyed it because it is cute. The first shade is the shade Butterfly Fantasy. The shade Maddie Girl. M3. To the Moon. And Back. God Mom. Crushed. Angel. Latte. Kenny. Dancing Queen. Like Butter. Five. She Insists. Mint. Godfather. ASAP. Go Home. Posse. And Pantera. Okay, and that's the entire Morphe X Maddie Ziegler eyeshadow palette. As always, I will insert photos of the swatches, one with flash here, and one without flash here. And for all you folks out there who love to see what a palette actually looks like, here are the close-ups of all the swatches. Don't mind my boo-boos. I'm now back with my eyes primed with the P. Louise base in the shade Rumor 01, and I'm ready to create a look with this palette. I wanted to mention though, after doing those swatches, I don't know Maddie Ziegler. I'm not sure who she is. I only know her from the box with a picture on it. That's the extent that I know who this person is. But she seems like a very well-rounded person based on the palette, because we've got our deep tones to make something a little more smoky or dramatic. We've got our beautiful light tones to be more pastel-y and springy, and we also have our neutral tones. So I feel like this is just kind of a sort of one-size-fits-all palette, but not exactly. And I also would like to mention that the mirror on this palette is just about the perfect size. It's not way too big and it's not way too small, but I like that I can see my full face in it. It's definitely not an expensive mirror because it can warp really easily. Even just by holding the corner of it, it warps. But with affordable palettes like this, I'm not necessarily judging the mirror as the most luxury thing I could get from it. It's the formula. So I'm going to start with the Doll 10 Creased Creator Brush, and I'm going to go into the shade Butterfly Fantasy as my transition shade. I'm just starting by tapping the color in rather than swirling it or anything, because I'm essentially setting my base with this color and I don't want to start moving around any of the base yet. Okay, I essentially have my base toned down, and that's just going to make it a little bit easier for the shades on top of it to blend in, since I am going to go for more of a neutral type look. So now I'm going to use the Morphe M433 brush, and this time I'm going to go into the shade M3. You know, I actually got this collection a few weeks ago, but I have been so busy with work and with doing makeup classes through Zoom that I've had no time to do anything. Hence why my June Boxycharm videos are probably going to be uploaded in July. Sorry about that, by the way. But you know, the struggle is real, but I'm trying to keep up because I want to make sure that I am always delivering content. At least one video a week with my regular Monday uploads, but I'd really like to get into Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I would really love to be able to just commit to that schedule and say that's when I'm gonna be uploading videos, but I'm very scared to commit to that right now because I don't know if I can keep up with that yet, currently. And with this shade, I'm trying to keep it mainly contained just within the crease. I'm gonna blow it out a little bit more than what it currently is, just so it's a nice smooth edge along the outside, but I am gonna keep it mainly in the crease. So far, so good. I have the shade M3 all over the crease, and it built up really nicely. It went on top of Butterfly Fantasy just fine. I was thinking about maybe going in with Go Home because it's also a really deep shade, but it's very maroon, and I'm afraid that if I start mixing it with the brown, it's gonna lighten it more and turn it even more reddish maroony. So I'm gonna try and stay just with the black. Now I think for the shade Pantera, I'm gonna start by using the Sigma E33 Detail Diffused Crease Brush because I want this to be detailed, and I want this to be diffused, and I want it to be in my crease. It's a very black. It's not the blackest black I've ever used, but it's a pretty black. And I'm just gonna start blending this in and carrying it through the crease to the other side very lightly and very gently. Now that I resemble a raccoon, I'm gonna take the previous brush that I was using, the Morphe M433 brush, and go back into the shade M3. And I'm going to blend out Pantera with M3, just to spare myself the fear of bringing the black out way too much. I'm hoping that I can just keep it contained where it's at, but blend it in and make it look good. I'm realizing this is a very temperamental black. It's like, it gets super patchy if it's not built up a lot, and then it becomes way too powerful. So I'm gonna try, instead of using the Morphe M433 brush, to go in with this Sigma E45 small tapered blending brush. With it having the point on it, I feel like I'm gonna have more control to just blend the edge of the black, because obviously blending the black and the brown together with a big fluffy brush is not the answer because it just turns patchy. So I'm gonna try this again and I'll be right back. Guys, I'm really not liking this. I'm not liking how this is performing or how this is going, how it's blending out, but I'm still gonna take it off and start over. I'm gonna get to the point where I was before I used the black, and we'll go from there and figure it out. I will see you in just a second. So I went back in and I finished up to the shade M3. Now I have these giant patches on my eye from where I first laid down the color, and then I went back and tried to blend it out. And I don't know why. I don't know what's happening. So, all I can really do is take it off and do it again. So I'll be right back. I realize now the second time I was using this and I packed on the brown and tried to blend it out and it left that patchy spot, I was using it more like a pressed pigment where you pack on, then blend, pack on, then blend. And the shade M3, I guess, is not a pressed pigment. It's definitely more of an eyeshadow. So now I'm gonna take Pantera again and yet again on the Sigma E33 Detailed Diffuse Crease Brush, but this time I'm gonna take just the tiniest little boop into the palette, and I'm just gonna darken the brown shade. I'm not even really gonna make it look black. I'm just gonna use it as like a shading color. I now think this is about the extent of the blending that I'm gonna get done out of this. This black just isn't working for me, really. Now let's jump into some shimmer on the lid. I'm not gonna cut the crease or anything because I wanna see how these shadows are gonna lay on top of just a dry base, like a regular, well, a base as it is. And using the Morphe M167 brush, I'm gonna go into the shade Godmom. Oh, that's pretty already. It's not super opaque. It doesn't look like it has a lot of pigment in it. It looks like it's just got a lot of shimmer in it. So this shade would probably make a better topper shade than anything else, but it's going on already. So, wow, that's really beautiful. I like that a lot. Okay. That is packed on perfectly. Wow, I really, really like that. So now, just using my pinky, I'm gonna go into the shade Angel, and I'm gonna pick up as much as I can of that, like a lot, really as much as I can. Oh, that's so pretty. And I'm gonna slide that right onto the center of my lid. Oh, I like this so much more now. I'm actually excited now. Oh, thank goodness. I was getting so frustrated and so agitated and so not happy. But now I'm happy. That is pretty. I like that a lot. Okay, now very quickly, I'm just gonna use the E33 from Sigma again, take a little tiny bit of the shade Pantera and re-emphasize the outer and inner corners of darkness so we can stick to this spotlight idea. Okay, so the spotlight part of the spotlight eye is now done. At this point, before I move on to my face makeup so that we can finish off the lower lash line and the inner corner, I want to do my brow bone just so I can have that done and have it kind of emphasized and lifted. I'm going to use the Morphe M326 little tiny brow bone highlight brush, let's call it. And I'm going to use the shade Angel, the same one that I used to top the center of my lid with, and try to use that as my brow bone highlight. Well, she does show up, but she does not look like what I thought she was gonna look like. I thought she was gonna be a little more peachy and super shimmery, but it's more like a soft baby pink with a slight sheen to it. So it's still pretty, just not what I thought. At this point, the brow bone highlight is done. I went ahead and cleaned up a lot of the glitter fallout that was under my face. Not quite all of it, there is still some there, so fair warning. If you're gonna use some of the shimmery or glittery shades, do it before your face makeup, unless you don't mind having glitter all under your eyes. Up to you though. Could be your thing, you might like that. If you don't though, start with your eyes. Anyway, now I need to go ahead and complete my face makeup so that I can get my under eye makeup done. So I'm gonna go ahead and do my base, my brows, my lashes, and get ready to use the lip and cheek duo and the face gloss stick. So I'll see you guys in just a second. I now have my whole face, my brows, and my lashes, and the wing liner done. Now it's time to check out the lip and cheek duo and the face gloss stick. There were 3 lip and cheek duos, all of them $18. I got the one in the shade peach something. Peach that pops, because I didn't know what look I was gonna go for and I figured peach would go with anything really. So let's open it up and see what it looks like. The box is cute. I love all the pastel. It reminds me of ColourPop though. Oh, it's liquidy things. Okay, so we've got a Peach Pucker lip gloss. Yes, lip gloss. Wonder if it smells like peaches. It doesn't actually smell like anything. And we've also got Peach Out Cheek and Lip Mousse. I actually set my face already because I thought it was like a powder cheek product and a lip product, but I guess not. So I'm just gonna spray a little bit more setting spray on my face to hopefully try and melt in the powder that's on my face a little bit more before I put on this mousse. Okay, my face is now sprayed very excessively. I'm gonna try with my finger first, just with a little bit to see kind of what it does. It's much thicker of a mousse than I thought. Very smooth, soft. It feels sort of like Play-Doh-y kind of. Almost like a gel mousse. I think I got way too much. I'm gonna scrape some off on the side and just tap into it a little bit. Okay, let's see. Well, the color is pretty. It is kind of disturbing the foundation underneath though. Granted, that is probably of no fault of the product because like I said, I did powder my face already, which was my mistake. I just thought it was a powder. Yeah, that's not blending out very well or looking good at all. It is starting to blend back in though, so that's a good thing. So I'm just gonna use my little Aspen Cosmetics lip brush here and take some of this mousse and just apply it straight to my lips. Since I can't use it on my cheeks, I'll use it for my lips instead. You know, now that I'm applying it, it actually feels like a lipstick, like just a cream lipstick. A little less creamy than that, but it still feels like a cream lipstick. But it gets really patchy. It's like it doesn't want to blend in all the way or melt, or I don't know. It's weird. Maybe I just need to use a tiny bit of it, because I'm thinking maybe I need to apply it with just a little less product and a little less control. I think it's gonna be more like one of those, a pot gloss or like a pot balm. Yeah, that feels a lot better. So less is more, apparently, with this product. That mousse feels really dry too, just by itself. It just feels, I don't know, it's a really weird texture to explain, but I'm about to get rid of that powdery feeling with this gloss and see if that changes things. Okay, this is cute. I like this. I really like what the gloss did to that mousse. They work well together. I understand why the mousse was a little more dry now. I don't know how that would work on the cheeks though, with it being a little more dry. Maybe that's why it didn't blend out as well. Perhaps it was all the powder that's set on my face to set my foundation. That probably didn't help at all. But I do really like the way this looks. Now let's move on to the face gloss stick. This is honestly the thing that I've been most excited about from this whole collection, because if I can use this as an everyday glossy highlight, that would be amazing. So it's officially called the Dew Balm Face Gloss Stick. It is $12, and let's see what it looks like. It has the same packaging as everything else, the like lavender pastel tones. It is in a stick form, and it looks like kind of like a glue stick, honestly. Apply over a shimmer shadow in the center of the lid to enhance the shine and create the wet eye effect. That's cool. Roll over collarbones and shoulders for a picture-perfect wet body glow. Mix with any pigment to create a custom eye gloss, lip gloss, or blush. So you can turn products into cream, so it's like a mixing medium, or you can enhance shimmer shadows, which means it's like a cream or like a liquid. So it's really just a clear balm, which would break up the makeup on my face. We see my shine I have currently, which is like none. It feels kind of like an oil. It is definitely breaking up my makeup, for sure. I'm gonna stop doing that now. It's literally like, well, I mean, it's a balm. I don't know how else to say it. Oh, please blend out. Come on, don't do this to me. Okay, I have fixed my face. I just personally don't think it's gonna be the greatest on top of other makeup because it's gonna break it down. Even if you hadn't set your face yet, if you're essentially mixing a clear cream or liquid with a pigmented cream or liquid, once they mix together, you are lessening the pigment that's in that other cream or liquid. Meaning you're just gonna take the coverage out of your product, or it will break it down and start lifting it up. So at this point, I'm gonna go ahead and finish off the rest of my face makeup off camera, meaning like my blush and my contour and everything. And once I come back, we're gonna finish off the lower lash line to finish off the look completely. Then I'll give my final thoughts on the Morphe X Maddie Ziegler collection. Okay guys, got my face done. Bronzer, blush, highlight. I actually used the shades Maddie Girl and She Insists as my blush, and my highlighter is the shade Angel, and then I kind of blended it out with my sponge so that it wasn't so pink, because it was very, very pink at first. So I just wanted to kind of blend it all out and make it cohesive, and I feel like it goes really well with the look. Now I want to finish off the lower lash line, and I'm gonna do that starting with this Sigma E15 flat definer brush. This is where I'm gonna add in a little bit of color. It's not gonna be a lot, it's just gonna be like a little boop, pop moment. And I think I'm actually gonna use blue. So I'm just gonna tap into the shade 5 and just start pressing this into my lower lash line. And with the blue built up in the places that I want, I'm gonna take this Moda Studio flat-ish shader brush, and I'm gonna use the shade Butterfly Fantasy to blend it out. Okay, and now using this Morphe M507 pointed blender, I'm gonna use the shade M3 again, and I'm gonna just take this right on this outer edge and use it to deepen up the outer corner, or outer edge. And last but not least, I wanted to add just a little bit more of a pop of blue, because now once I actually finished everything, that's just not enough for me. So I'm gonna take this teeny tiny Eco Tools brush, go back into the shade number 5, or no, sorry, just 5. And I'm just gonna build this up right in the inner corner. Just to give it a little more of a moment. Waterline liner, lower lash line mascara, and I'll be right back with my final thoughts. We are back and the look is completely complete. So what do you guys think? You know I had to add a blue eyeliner if I was gonna have a blue pop in the inner corner. But let's ask the final question of would I recommend the Morphe X Maddie Ziegler collection? Unfortunately, this time I'm gonna have to say no. I don't think I would. Yes, this is a really beautiful look. I do like it quite a bit actually, but I can probably create it with a majority of the palettes in my collection already, and this palette to me is just kind of chaotic, in all honesty. It's kind of, I don't know, it just feels very thrown together, and it doesn't make sense to me as a cohesive color story. I do feel that there's a lot of variety in it, because you can definitely create some more neutral looks, you can create some pops of color, you could create an entire like rainbow pastel look if you wanted to with it, and you could even go dark, deep, and goth and vampy if you wanted to, yes, but that's not cohesive. That is 4 different color stories. If it would have been marketed that way, then I don't know, maybe I would have liked it more, it was just kind of hard to create a look that I was excited about with it, and that's the main problem I have with it. But also, another problem I have with it is this black is probably one of the worst blacks that I've used in a long time, because it doesn't stay black and it gets super patchy super quickly because it doesn't have enough pigment in it. I think I'm not a chemist, I don't really know the formulation of what it should be, but it just seems like that might be what it is. But I just feel like it's missing something for me. And Morphe has tons of other palettes that I actually do really like. The 39L Hit the Lights palette is a really great one, and it does have 4 specific, very targeted color stories. Some of them rainbow, some of them more like coppery nude, some of them more dark and vampy looking. But regardless, that is my opinion of it. Then when it comes to the Lip and Cheek Duo, the gloss feels really comfy. For the actual mousse stuff, it felt okay on the lips, but it was a dry, weird texture, and I don't really like it that much. However, I do like these and would recommend them for the fact of if you like more of this natural look, if you want just a little bit of a tint on the lips, and you don't want it to be a full liquid lipstick that's gonna coat the applicator of your gloss, then I would recommend this because I do like what this did to the lips. I think it made that perfect glossy natural lip look, and I think that's really cool. So these I would recommend. I like these. Then the I Do Face Gloss Stick. Now that I know what this is, I was so excited to try this. I really wanted one of these. Mainly because it reminded me of the little Tatcha serum stick that you can like fix your makeup with, but not exactly, since this is meant for highlight and that's just meant to fix your makeup. But I just thought this was going to be something different. I don't know what exactly, I just thought it was gonna work differently. If you don't wear foundation very frequently and you aren't oily, this would be great for you because then you can get that shiny highlight, like that dewy highlight, without having to use a whole bunch of products or highlighter to get it, because this would do that. I think this actually might be a pretty good tool for making your own custom highlighters. If you want to make like a powder highlighter be more of a cream, I think it would work great for something like that. But as is, as it's marketed, I wouldn't recommend this because I didn't like it and it broke up my foundation. And if it's meant to be used on top of foundation, I don't understand why it would do that in the first place. I would assume it would mix in with the foundation better. Again, I didn't try it on not set foundation, but I would not imagine it to work in a way that wouldn't break down your makeup. So I just don't completely understand that, and I don't know that I like that. So that's it from me, guys. That is overall my impression, opinion, and look from the Morphe X Maddie Ziegler collection. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up because it does let me know that you like my content, but it also lets others know that you like my content. Every like is another way for YouTube to say, yes, let's show him on the homepage. Also, if you like this look and you want to see more looks like them, you can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, and TikTok. My username is the same for everything. It's just ChristopherJMUA. And if you gain nothing out of this video, if you gain nothing out of any of my videos, please at least gain this. And that is to always remember and never forget that you are absolutely beautiful. And I love you guys. Bye.